to use a data factory for data ingestion. So I have did two videos, so you can find those two videos in my channel, which you can find introduction, one video, and another video, just a high level overview on components. So today video, I'm going to create Azure Data Factory, how to create Azure Data Factory, then how to use Azure Data Factory for migration, for ingestion. Ingestion maybe we'll see in another video. So today video, how we will migrate data from cloud to cloud. So how we will use a copy activity, what is pipeline, how to create a pipeline, how to copy data from gen1 to gen2. So that we will understand today. Okay. So today video, I'm going to cover more into how to load data from data lake gen1 to data lake gen2. So I'm going to use data lake gen1 as a source and data lake gen2 as a target. So how we will connect a data lake gen1 using a link service. So how to create a link service, what is link service and how to create a link service. Then binary dataset, what is dataset and how to create a dataset. Copy activity, how to create a copy activity. Then sync dataset, sync link service, then pipeline. So this process I'm going to explain with the end-to-end example. Let's focus on how to create a data factory. Even if you don't have a Azure portal account, so go and create an Azure portal account, a free trial using your credit card, which you will get a 30 days free trial. Okay. So you just search in Azure free trial with a credit card. So you can get a $200 credit, which you can go and create a free trial using credit card. The $300 credit, 1 month you can use this credit and you will get other services. You will get other services, free services. Then I'm already having Azure portal, which I'm going to create a data factory. So the search window, you can use a search window, search as data factories. You will get a data factories, create a new data factory. I'm going to create a new data factory here. So select a resource group, a subscription, a resource group, and data factory name. So ADF version 2. This time I'm going to create a new data factory, the version 2. Okay, no version 1. Version 1 is not available. So directly we can use a version 2. Then review and create. If you want to integrate with the Git, you can integrate. Otherwise, you can get integration. We can do it later as well. Then create. So I'm going to create a Azure Data Factory. Then once data factory is available, then we can use this data factory to migrate data from data lake gen1 to data lake gen2. So I'm already having a data lake gen1. I'll show you that data lake gen1 service. You can search data lake, store gen1. This is data lake gen1. I'm having multiple folders and files. Just I'll take one folder. So inside is the data explorer, landing. So here you can find some files and folders. Just I want to migrate files. Migrate files from data lake gen1 to gen2. So source is gen1. My destination is, I'm already having a data lake gen2. Under storage accounts, you can find data lake gen2. This is my data lake gen2. Then inside containers, I have a container called data lake. So inside this raw, I'll copy those files. Okay. So how to migrate files from data lake gen1 to gen2 using Azure Data Factory copy activity. So that I'm going to explain. So let's go to data factories. Hope our data factories, new data factory is available. Just you can launch this. There's a launch studio. So once you launch this, it will be available in a new window, arf.azure.com. And theme also is available. Default is dark theme, which we can change this theme under settings. So here, white default Currently, they are providing a dark theme, which you can go and change to white color. If you are comfortable in dark theme, go and use the dark theme. Okay. So based on your comfortness, then. So this is a Azure Data Factory. If you expand here, you can find this. Just I'll introduce here the search window, existing pipelines, existing objects which you can search here. And here settings you can find, product updates also you can find here. Then shifting to another data factory you can find here. Then which user you log in, that user ID you can find here. Then the left side is author, where developer will work. Monitor, where we can monitor our pipelines, jobs, whatever we execute, whatever we debug, everything we can monitor here. Then manage administrator area, manage this administrator area. And learning center, they are providing a new option, content, documents, videos, they are providing here. So that's about high level walkthrough. Developer area, monitoring area, administrator area. So first what we will do, our source is datalake gen1, target is datalake gen2. What we need to do, we need to create the end-to-end process. When you look at here, we need to create a link service for source. We need to create a link service for target to connect a target. Datalake gen2, we'll call it as connection details, we'll call it as link service. Similarly, source, if you want to connect, the source details will call it as link service. Then if you want to transfer data, data set is required. The data set source is file, target is file. So source file data set, target file data set, we are going to use a binary data set. Then copy activity, the copy activity need a source data set and sync data set. Sync is nothing but target. Then a pipeline with a data factory. So let's understand one by one how we will achieve this with a practical session. So what is link service? How to create link service? What is data set? How to create data set? What is copy activity? How to use copy activity? What is pipeline? How to create a pipeline? Let's understand one by one. So when you look at here, author, you can find when you click on author is nothing but a developer area, developer or author. It's alias name. You can call it as author or developer. So there we can create a pipelines and data sets. So currently nothing is available. I'll create a new folder here. Migrate gen1 to gen2. This time I'm creating one folder here. Inside folder, click on these three dots, create a new pipeline. The right side, you'll get a pipeline properties. Provide the pipeline name. So PL gen1 to gen2 migration. This time I'm using a pipeline name, any user defined name you can use here. And the properties window, you can minimize, click on this, it will minimize. And the activities are available here, move and transform. There you can find the copy activity. I'll repeat again, activities are available here. Under author, I created a folder in the pipeline. There you can create a new pipeline. Once you create a pipeline, under properties, you can click on this, change the name. Then under activities, you can find the move and transform. There is an activity name called copy. This is our developer area. You can say working area, where we can drag and drop this. And we can use this copy activity to copy data from source to target. To copy data from source to target. Let's drag and drop this copy activity. And the options you can find here, it is name. You can use a user defined name, any name you can provide. Consider copy gen1 to gen2. Just I'm using a name activity name. This is a copy activity name. Source data set is required. Sync data set is required. So this is the copy activity. The copy activity need source data set, sync data set. But how it will connect a source? So source data set is going to connect to the source via link service. Similarly, the sync data set is going to connect to target via this link service. So first what we will do, we'll create a link service for source and targets. We'll create a data set for both source and target. Then we'll use this copy activity to move data from gen1 to gen2. This is very simple in a general scenario. I'm moving from one city to another city. So my source is Bangalore, my destination is Hyderabad. So the connection details nothing but the source address details, destination address details. When you are moving, how you will move? By bus, by car. So how it contains the data is going to transfer, right? Similarly, how they are going to transport from one city to another city. I have some my home items which need to transfer from one city to another city. So that container, our transport service provider, so they will pick that items, nothing but data sets. So that data set, source data set, sync data set, where they're going to collect, where they're going to transfer. So it may be boxes, it may be any items. So similarly here, we are going to transfer data. So data set, we'll call it as data set. Okay, consider similarly whenever you place an order in Amazon. So Amazon warehouse to your home. Source is Amazon warehouse. Destination is your home. So source address, destination address. Then source, they'll pack that item they are going to deliver. So through boxes, maybe any packing boxes. So similar way, how we will migrate data from here to here. That we will understand with the practical session. So now copy activity is available. Let's go to manage, where we need to create a link services. Under manage, you can find here option manage link services. Click on new. Link services are connection details to source and target technologies. Source and target details. Like Data Factory is providing 100 plus sources which you can connect, maybe cloud services or on-premises services, databases, files. Click on new, you can find all these services. It may be cloud services, it may be on-premises services, databases, anything which you can connect. 100 plus sources you can connect. So when we look at here, our source is Azure Data Lake gen1, destination is Data Lake gen2. So click on this Data Lake gen1, continue. So provide some name, ls, Adls, gen1, link service. Then provide the subscription name, then authentication. So system managed identity authentication. So ADF gen1 is a separate service. Data Factory is a separate service. So which we need to grant a privileges to this ADF. This is the ADF name here. This is the ADF name. We need to grant a privileges to this ADF. Otherwise, you will get errors. You see this? Make sure that ACL, access control list, firewall rules are correctly configured. So we need to grant a privileges, a role-based access to Data Factory to connect a data lake. So how to provide this privileges? So if we go to Data Lake gen1, is access control IAM. You can find here access control IAM, access control IAM. So we'll assign a role. The role is contributor role. So search contributor role, managed contributor role. Okay, managed application contributor role, or you can say managed this one. Then go to the member whom we need to assign Data Factory. Select a Data Factory and give access to Data Factory, because Data Factory is trying to access this data lake. So we are giving a contributor role. Contributor is nothing but a developer. So we are giving a contributor role to Data Factory. So one is we are assigning a contributor role. This is a role-based access. Another one is ACL, access control list. So inside this data lake, we need to give a role-based access plus read, write, execute privileges. So read, write, execute privileges to Data Factory. So we already did a role-based access. Now we are giving a read, write, execute privileges to the Data Factory. Provide the Data Factory name. This is the Data Factory. ACL, we'll call it as access control list. Read, write, execute privileges. So this folder and all the children's. So I'm providing a role-based access as well as ACL. So both are done. Go and sometimes it may take some 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes immediately it can affect. Just test it again. So I've done role-based access as well as ACL. ACL is nothing but access control list, read, write, execute privileges, because it's a file system, folders and files, which we need to provide ACL. Then create. So source link service is ready. Similarly, sync, our sync is nothing but destination. So the destination is data lake gen2. Similarly, we need to create a target link services as well. ls gen2. Then select the account. So here, if you are using manage identity, then you need to give a privileges, role-based access as well as ACL. There is another authentication type is account key authentication. So if you are using account key authentication, then in order to provide a role-based access control. So directly it will work because it is going to use account key. Gen2 is having a capabilities of blob storage and Gen1 features, that is a rollback, RBAC access or account key based access. So here it is account key basis. If you are going with the managed identity, then you need to provide a role based access control plus ACL. So account key is available, SAS also is available. So I'm using account key. So for normally Gen2, we will use managed identity. It's a new option that is available. Even managed identity also we can provide. Then publish is nothing but save. So there's no save option. You need to use this publish option. So before that, go to the author. So this data set currently does not have a data sets. This activity does not have a data sets. So we will create a two data sets here. We'll create a two data sets. So click on this new data set, or you can create a new folder. You can create a new folder. Okay. Inside this, you can create a data set. So I'm going to create a new data set. Source is Azure Dataset, datalake gen1. So datalake gen1, Azure Data Lake Store gen1, and use a binary format. When we are migrating data as it is in a native format, you don't need to use a native file format like CSV, other formats. We're not reading data, just we are moving the data. So when you are moving the data, just use a binary format. When you are moving the data, just use a binary format. If source is binary, sync should be binary. Dataset, Adls gen1, binary. So select the link service. So it is going to connect that source link service and select the folder from where you want to copy the files. I will show you first one file. I'll show you first one file. I want to copy this dat file. Okay, this is the source data set. Similarly, we need to create a sync data set as well. Click on these three dots, create a new data set, destination data set, Adls gen2. Binary. If source is binary, sync should be binary. Sync or destination, just alias name. You can call it as sync or destination. Okay, target. So DS, Adls gen2, binary. DS means data set. Select the link service. Then where you want to copy this file, select that location under data lake container raw. I want to copy that file here. So select inside copy activity dataset. Gen1 is the source. Gen2 is the destination. That's all. I'll repeat again. What we did, we created copy activity. In that copy activity, need a data set. That data set is going to connect a source using link service. So what we did, we created a link service for source. We created a link service for target. Then we created a binary data set for source, binary data set for target or sync. Then in copy activity, we selected source data set, sync data set. So the data set is going to connect a source using link service. This data set is going to connect a sync using this link service. So it will read the data, it will copy data into destination. So while copying, it's need a compute power. So that compute power will create as integration runtime. IR. So that is Azure integration runtime. It's need a compute power. That compute power is IR, integration runtime. Okay. So let's understand that. So source data set, the data set is going to connect a source using link service, sync a data set. This is going to connect a sync using the link service. So meantime, I will verify I'll show you in a raw folder. It is a data lake gen2. Currently, nothing is available in this raw folder. Inside a container, data lake container, this is data lake container. Then inside this raw, nothing is available. Now, go to this data factory, debug. Even without saving this, there is an option called debug. What is debug? For testing purpose, for development time, if you want to debug, you can use this debug option without saving this. So the save is nothing but publish all. Even you can go and validate. If you have any errors, it will show you errors. Then publish. So first queued is nothing but trying to connect a source. Then succeeded. Just a simple file, single file, small file. It's taken 10 seconds. I'll show you this details. If you click on this details, you can find the details, complete information about this. So data like gen1 is a source, destination is gen2. Look at this. Single file we have read, a single file it is written, and time taken also you can see this. Okay. And data integration units, for default is going to use a 4, then parallel copy is single file, 1 parallel copy, and that succeeded status. So what is data integration units? So it's a compute power. Dynamically, it will be available whenever you run this. That is called serverless compute power. That is integration runtime. So where it will be available. So particular location specific, that integration runtime will be available. So if you go to the manage integration runtime, the default you can find here, Azure Auto Resolve Integration Runtime. Auto Resolve Integration Runtime type is Azure. So whenever you run any program, nothing but here pipelines, the backend compute power is required. That is integration runtime, Azure integration runtime. So that Azure integration runtime, which is serverless compute, the minimum capacity default is 4, which you can go with the maximum is 256 data units, data integration units. We know it will use a 4, but even you can go with a manually 2 also you can use. 2 to 256. If you use a 257, then it will raise X. 2 to 256 you can use. That's a maximum integration units which you can use. If you want to use more than that, then you can go with another integration runtime. That is possible. Okay. You can go and use another integration runtime. So we can create a number of integration runtimes. Just they'll charge only per usage. That's the cheapest integration runtime or cheapest ETL server in Azure. Okay. So we can go with 2 also. And this is a static approach. Static means one file we have selected and we move to data lake gen2. Just refresh here. New file is copied this location. So this is a simple approach, how to connect a source and how to collect a file and how to connect a target, how to move the file to target. Mean we connected to source using link service. We connected the data set is binary data set. So data lake gen1 binary data set. So this copy activity need a source data set, sync data set. The sync data set is data lake gen2. So we are connecting data lake gen2 using this link service. So the pipeline can have n number of activities. One of the activities copy activity. So, but how it will move the data? So compute power, how it will use the compute power? That is called integration runtime. So default it is Azure integration runtime. Backend it will have a serverless compute. Whenever you run, the compute will be available. So they will charge per usage. If you're not running any program, they won't charge. That's called serverless compute. Cheapest ETL server in cloud. Okay. So now, so this way which we can connect and collect the data and move to data lake gen2. The next video what we will do, today we are seeing only one file, but if you have a multiple files, so how we will move multiple files dynamically from data lake gen1 to gen2, that we will see in another video. So today video just I want to give you high level, what is data factory, what is pipeline, what is copy activity, then how to connect a source and target using link service data sets. So next video what we will do, we will understand how to copy multiple files from data lake gen1 to gen2. So we will understand different activities with the help of get metadata. So there is an activity called get metadata, then get metadata, then filter, then for loop, nothing but a for each. So using these activities, which we can process multiple files from source to destination. Source to destination. So thanks for watching my videos. See you in another video. We'll understand more into dynamic processing, how to process multiple files from gen1 to gen2. Thank you. See you in another video.